Also, should I remind you? Oh, you should. I already forgot.
ジェシカの昔の服、あんなに似合うなんて
Yes,
思いませんでした。
please, my friend.
熊沢が勝手にお嬢様の昔の服を使用してしまいました。お許しください。
The clothes Erica wore were Jessica's old formal attire. Though the guest was possessed by a dignity that would put most adults to shame, her body was still physically similar to a middle schooler's. Jessica's old clothes fit her perfectly.
いいえ、お客様にふさわしい身なりでしたよ。もし彼女が気に入るようでしたら、お近づきの印にプレゼントしても良いでしょう。
かしこまりました。ありがとうございます。
警察やご家族には連絡しましたか？
This game is such a different feel than White Album.
はい。先方も大層ご心配なされていたようでした。
ところで、客人は本当に事故でしょうね。
Right?
ご本人は寄港中のボートから転落したとおっしゃっております。
They're nothing alike.
裏付けはありますか？
海保に問い合わせて確認しました。
I'm excited to see at the end of the answers arc if in my opinion, this holds up to Higurashi or if Higurashi will stay my favorite.
プレジャーボートの後部から転落したそうで、他の乗員たちは気づかなかったようです。実際の転落地点は分かりませんが、おそらくはここの近海でしょう。
この悪天候に船遊びなど愚かなことです。しかし、近海で溺れてこの島に漂着することは考えられるのですか？
ありえないことではありません。この辺りの島には大抵漂流民が流れ着いた伝承がございます。おそらく事故は真実ではないかと。
Interesting, Genji.
この台風です。
We're in the middle of a typhoon. Ah, I dropped something.
島のどこであろうとも、船での接岸は不可能です。
Genji had already considered what she now suspected. Natsu probably suspected that this mystery guest who had arrived during their already high-stress family conference might be an agent in some kind of conspiracy. So Genji had already checked to make sure that the accident was real and that Furuta Erika was her real name and that there was nothing suspicious going on.
わかりました。主人も丁重にもてなすようにと指示しています。粗相のないようになさい。ですが、分かっていますね。
はい。親族会議には一切近づけません。夕食後はゲストハウスへお引き取り願います。
ゲストハウス。
客人をお父様に挨拶させろというような流れにもならないよう、よく注意するのですよ。
もちろんです。心得ております。
ほう、フルドエリカとな。この六軒島に来客とは珍しい。楽しませてくれそうではないか。
ベルンカステル教の駒でしょう。人間のルールに従うとはいえ、プレイヤーは魔女です。侮ることはできませんよ。
問題ない。仮にベルンカステル教本人であろうとも、人間である以上、わらわたちの敵ではない。何しろガープもいる。人間はガープに絶対に勝てる。
ガープ。
ありがとう。でも買いかぶりすぎは良くないわ。魔女の定義は魔法が使えることだけを意味したりはしない。
ですが、ジョーカーであり、台風、それが魔女というもの。
Let me start my pasta. Oh shit, it's already boiling. That was quick. Sorry about that. Kicked some boxes.
この六軒島で魔女と名乗ってよいのはこのわ
Changes
らわ。
every time.
黄金の魔女にして無限の魔女ベアトリーチェのみである。
I love this song.
エンジェの次なるコマがどの程度のものかじっくりと観覧させてもらおうぞ。
Crack. Erica's seat was the lowest one in rank. In other words, it was at the inferior end of the table. Since Kinzo's seat at the high end of the table was empty, if you spread the whole thing around, it sort of looked like Erica was the host of this dinner.
それでは皆様、
Fuck you, Goda.
本日の晩餐を始めさせていただきたいと思います。
Let me change the counter. After Goda's announcement, dinner began with the applause that had become almost customary. It was finally the beginning of the dinner orchestra conducted by the horrible, disgusting monster himself, Goda. Except for Krause's household, sitting at such a majestic dinner table was no everyday thing for these people by any means. However, they were all used to this event and acted as though it was completely normal. Once again, if anyone was to be surprised, it should have been Erica, and yet she showed no signs of amazement at this dinner and acted with composure. Goda counter. Blending in with everyone else. There wasn't even a sliver of the fear one might expect from someone who hadn't wandered here like a lost puppy.
不思議な子ですね。後ろ宮家
But
の
let me check my
1年間で
pasta
最も
again.
豪華な晩餐を前に何も取り乱さないとは。
Sorry, I have to keep checking it. I think it's almost ready.
最近の子は肝が据わってるわ。嫌いじゃないわ、そういうの。
フルドさんはこういう食事には慣れているのですか。大した落ち着きようだ。
ほんまやな。ずいぶん手慣れたもんや。わしなんかいまだに次はどのフォークを使えばいいんか混乱するんやで。ああ、こっちやったか、それともこっちやったか。
Without showing any confusion over the line of utensils in front of her, Erica gracefully ate her orders. Pour devoir. Hideyoshi had started joking around with her, gripping a fork in each hand. Of course, that president of a company in the food service industry like Hideyoshi obviously knew his table manners. However, thinking that Erica must be nervous over this dinner, he had intentionally spoken in a comedic tone of voice.
外側から順に使うだけですし、面倒だったらお箸を頼めばいいんです。日本人ならお箸です。お箸はいいですよ。
Oh, this is the
これ
chopsticks.
一膳あればどんな料理でも対処できます。
As soon as she began talking about chopsticks, her eyes started glittering. Okay, let me take my pasta out. Sorry, I'm almost done. I'm just making the sauce right now. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. As soon as she began talking about chopsticks, her eyes started glittering. The smile she now showed us for the first time was far different from the dignity she displayed before. More like something you'd expect from someone her age.
カレーライスはさすがにスプーンでしょ。
丼に盛ればいいんです。牛丼をスプーンで食べる人いますか？いませんよね。日本人なら断じて絶対鉄頭鉄尾お箸です。というわけでゴーダさん、すみませんがお箸をお願いします。私が日本人として恥ずかしくない食べ方をご覧に入れてみせましょう。ところで次のお料理は何ですか？
それが困ったことに、次はスープでございまして。
As she imitated a shrugging gesture, Erica winked at everyone. What's the mad stupid counter? Oh, it's a counter for every time I get like really mad. It was for earlier I would call Haruki, a character in White Album 2, I'd call him stupid, so we started counting it. But I also get really mad that George and Goda exist, so we count that too. Every time I say like, I hate George or I hate Goda or something. Goda is the best character. That's a very interesting opinion to have. Because I hate him like a lot. I hate Goda. I'm glad every time he dies. Of course, no one was laughing at her. She obviously knew that soup came after hors d'oeuvres and a full course meal. Furthermore, Erica had noticed both that she'd been performing too perfectly in creating a sense of tension, and that Hideyoshi had tried to break the ice because he thought she was nervous. That's why she started acting a little childish and lighthearted, acting out the part of a guest enjoying a harmonious dinner. Pretty soon, not only Kirie but everyone else caught on. Though she was an uninvited guest, she was apparently worthy of participating in an Ushiromiya family dinner.
頭のいい子ね。
This is episode 5.
本当にこの子、偶然の来客なの？実は今日の親族会議にこっそり読んだ兄さんの隠し子じゃないの？
Stop! The fact that Natsuhi got a call from someone and then she just says this out of the blue.
賢く場を和ますセンスもあるようだ。
My theories? I'm a very big magic believer. I think that Beatrice is being trapped by Lambda and stuff. I want to say that she did it so that she could get escape from Kinzo finally, but she's apparently been trapped for like 1,000 years, and Kinzo hasn't been around for that long, so I don't know why she originally got trapped with her. Unless the 1,000 years, I don't know how that works, because I ship Beato and Rosa because of when they were younger and how Rosa like freed her from her dungeon and promised to take her on all these dates and stuff. And then she dies, right? I think the epitaph is leading to where her body is, maybe? I don't know. But I'm a big magic believer. Rosa literally killed her? No, she didn't. Rosa was, just climbing down with her, and it was just a bad accident. She didn't kill her. Permanent trauma. I think Beato can heal Rosa because Beato's nice to Maria and can help her be a better mother too.
マナーも見事じゃないか。あんな子が娘だったら悪くはないね。
She literally gave her Maria apples. Who gave who Maria apple? What do you mean? Buy me more, please, Bunny.
それはひでえぜ。
From the episode 2 Tea Party? Oh, okay. I mean... I think Beato acts a lot. I mean, Beato's really confusing because we don't really know why she does all these things. We don't know why she's been killing everyone and doing stuff. So, I think it's kind of complicated.
ジェシカちゃんの達成がなくならな。
ひどいわ、ルドルフ兄さん。
どうしたんだい、ジェシカちゃん。頭痛かい？
George, you're so fucking stupid! What do you mean? What's wrong? It's like they're talking about how she's a better daughter than you, but I'm gonna ask you and rub it in. Like, go fuck yourself, George. I hate you so much.
私の評価がずんずん下がってる気がするぜ。
I hate him. 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 I hate him.
本家の令嬢として負けられねえだろ。
I don't even know how much that is.
お前も日頃夏日おばさんに仕込まれてるテーブルマナーと貫禄で対抗してみろよ。
見たい見たい。テーブルマナー見たい。
ほら、はしゃぐのはマナー違反だよ。
Anyways, I gotta hold back. I just want to keep. I want to say things that get me banned on Twitch to George.
さあさあ、ジェシカちゃん、お手本を見せてあげて。
もちろんだぜ。
Jessica straightened up so much it looked like someone had poked her back with a pole. Poor Jessica. She had good posture, but it somehow lacked elegance. She looked kinda, well, like a triangular ruler. She sat at attention with her gaze fixed straight ahead and tried to bring her food to her mouth despite this, and failed miserably. Dad, who was sitting next to her, suddenly realized that something was up.
どうしたんだ、ジェシカちゃん。腹でも痛えのか？
Jessica turned bright red. Sorry, I can't help myself. We all laughed our heads off. Jessica protested, still bright red. Oh, I felt so bad for her. Aunt Natsu scolded us for being too improper. Well, no matter how much we try to smooth it over, we are who we are. We couldn't pretend any longer. So that laugh really did help us relax. We were so concerned about the guests getting nervous, we'd gotten even more nervous ourselves. Our chatter from the center of this long table spread to both ends, and ultimately the dinner went even more smoothly than usual. Oh, sorry, I was grabbing something. With some delicious cheese and coffee, our peaceful meal came to an end. Goda won unanimous acclaim and was praised for his skill by all present. Oh, he doesn't deserve it. After a short period of harmony following the meal, it was decided that we would return to the guest house. Normally, dinner tended to have a very dark atmosphere about it, and the adults would often keep that mood as they moved straight on to the family conference. However, perhaps because this year's dinner had been oddly peaceful, everyone decided to take a break, the adults included. After eating, taking a bath, and relaxing while watching TV, I wonder if they'll gather again in the mansion with all this rain and resume that high-tension conference. I'd rather not think about it. Apparently Aunt Ava was getting really worked up, trying to convince the rest to start the family conference right away, but didn't look like many people agreed with her. They'd probably call it quits for the night. Since they had guest house duty, Goda and Kumasawa were chosen to guide us to the guest house. It's gotta be tough for Goda-san. Good. Even after making and cleaning up such an extravagant dinner, he also had the late night shift at the guest house. I heard that Kumasawa, old as she was, would be going to sleep soon. It seems she was assigned a spare room.
皆様をゲストハウスまでご案内させていただきます。エリカ様のお部屋もご用意できております。
ありがとうございます。
体調はどうです？具合が悪かったりはしませんか？
ああ、そうだよな。すっかり忘れてたけど、エリカちゃんは溺れてて流れ着いたんだよな。今日は無理しねえで、早く寝た方がいいだろうな。
全然平気です。それよりも緊張と興奮でむしろ寝つけないくらいです。じゃあ遊ぼう。みんなで遊ぼう。トランプしよう。
Maria latched onto her, giggling. This lack of restraint and peculiar use was very much like Maria. However, we really should be concerned for Erica's physical condition now.
マリア、トランプは私たちと一緒に遊ぼう。エリカお姉ちゃんは疲れてるんだってさ。
トランプも好きですよ。一息つきましたらぜひご一緒させてください。やったー。あれはどちら様ですか？
As she passed through the lobby of the entrance hall, Erica stopped walking. While we saw what she was looking at, the rest of us also stopped.
ああ、あちらは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様でございますよ。
黄金の魔女。
何やってんだガキども。さっさとゲストハウスへ引き上げるぞ。
Dad, Kiryu-san, Aunt Ava, Uncle Hideyoshi, and Rosa all came over. The entire guest house party had gathered. However, Erica's gaze was captured by the portrait of the witch, and she simply stared at it for a while.
Ah. 親父は200億相当の黄金を隠し持っていて、その隠し場所をあの碑文に記したって言われてる。
Perhaps it was too early for them all to disperse into their individual rooms, because the relatives who had returned to the guest house all gathered on the first floor continuing their chat. The topic was the witch's epitaph, which Erica had taken an interest in.
魅力的な謎ですね。誰にでも見られるところに堂々と張り出し、私たちの知恵に挑戦する。そういう挑戦大好きです。
ひゅー、エリカちゃんは案外ノリがいいな。謎解きとか好きなのか？
面白そうじゃないですか。そういう挑戦。多分金蔵さんはあの碑文によって跡継ぎを選ぼうというつもりに違いありませんね。
When she said that, the adult stopped moving and slowly turned to face Erica.
どうしてそう思うの？
Eva spoke with a coaxing voice. Though every now and then there had been whisperings among the relatives that whoever solved the episode's riddle might be given the family inheritance, this had been no more than wishful thinking, since such a thing had never been specifically stated. And yet, though she only read it once, this outsider had already reached that conclusion. How had she come to it? Though that's not the problem. If you solve the epitaph, you can become the next head. She wasn't trying to make it sound like wishful thinking, but an outright fact. So they closed in on around Erica, asking why she was so sure.
大富豪が謎を解いた者に富を譲るというのは割とよくあるシチュエーションです。そしてご当主の金蔵さんはその碑文を新聞に載せたのではなく、お屋敷の中に掲示しました。つまりこのお屋敷の人間を対象にした謎だということです。
そうだよな。この屋敷の中である以上、この屋敷に出入りできない者には解きようがない。つまりこの屋敷の人間にじいさまは挑戦してきたってわけだ。
グッド、良い思考です。あの碑文が屋敷内にあったという一時からでもその程度のことを読み取ることが可能です。
At first, this Furudo Erika girl seemed to be the fairly silent type, but that apparently wasn't the case. As she grew excited by a challenge to a game of wit, she began much more talkative than I imagined.
なるほどな。屋敷の中に碑文があるんは屋敷の人間に読ませるためってのは確かに道理や。
でも家督を譲る相手までも選ぶというのは言い切れるものなの？
この謎を解いて得られる宝がほんのささやかなものでしかないなら、私もそこまでは思いません。
そうよね。隠された黄金の価値は200億。それはまさに後宮家の財産そのものだわ。
それを受け継ぐということは後宮家を引き継ぐことと限りなく同じ意味です。つまり碑文に込めた黄金の隠し場所という謎は後宮家の実質的な後継者選びに他ならないということです。
The idea that the one who solved the epitaph would be chosen as the successor had been passed around by some of the relatives for a while now. However, since it had never been specifically announced, it was nothing more than an optimistic dream. Thinking this, they decided to abandon all consideration of the point until the details were made clear. Erica had clearly declared that this uncertain point was in fact true. If one of the relatives had said it, people would have thought it to be merely an optimistic dream. However, this was declared by a complete outsider. Those words seem even more credible. Everyone remained silent for a while, slowly considering what those words implied.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで、フルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがでしょうか、皆様方。
横やりで申し訳ねえけどさ、隠し黄金を誰が見つける云々はともかくよ、 見つけたら当主ってのはそういうことにはならねえんじゃねえかよ。
Jessica thought the treasure hunting part of the epitaph was really fun. However, she couldn't help but let her expression grow bitter once they started talking about undermining her father's position.
私の推理から演繹する限り、金蔵さんは次期当主のクラウスさんに円滑な当主継承を望んでいないと考えられます。
どうしてだよ。
Your reasoning is shit, Kappa.
莫大な財産を持つ後宮家の当主なら、政治的な意味で様々な影響力を持つことになるでしょう。ならば本来その継承は厳格であり、一切の紛れが入るべきではありません。
そうね。うちの人の好きな戦国武将の話でもよくあるわ。跡継ぎ候補が複数いたりすると、大抵お家騒動の火種になる。
そうやな。だからトラブルを未然に防ぐためにしっかりと後継者を指名しておくのが大切なんや。時には競合する後継者を粛清することさえあるんやで。
The Sengoku commander Hideyoshi admired Toyotomi Hideyoshi made his son-in-law Hidetsugu commit suicide. But it was rumored that he might have done this to make Hideyoshi, who is his real son, on board after Hidetsugu his true heir. In other words, naming a successor was a way to make it generally known that a single unique person would be acknowledged by everyone, and a way to remove any chance of another person becoming an opposite candidate.
Good.
1 second, actually. Okay, I just want to change mics.
まさにその通りです。
グッド。
あのような碑文の存在はクラウスさんの次期当主の肩書きを危ぶませる意味しかあります。つまり金蔵さんがクラウスさんに当主を円満に継承させたいと願うなら、あのような危険なものをわざわざ人目にさらす理由がないわけです。
そうね。チェス盤をひっくり返せば確かにそう言える。当主は継承するけれども200億の黄金は譲らない。解けた誰かに譲るというのはおかしな話だわ。
Kinza would pass on the title of the family head, but he'd only give up the 20 billion yen and the gold to the person who sold the epitaph. You really couldn't call this passing on the headship in the truest sense.
そういうことです。以上の推理により、金蔵さんがクラウスさんを本当に後継者だと認めていたか怪しむことができるわけです。ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで、古田エリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがでしょうか、ジェシカさん。
なんだよそれ。何が推理だ。デタラメだ。こじつけだ。
Jessica let her emotions lay bare and glared at Erica. Erica, on the other hand, looked exceedingly calm with an expression that said, well, that's just the truth, right? I see. It looks like table manners aren't the only way this girl is fitting for the Ushiro-man family. Seems she really does match the family, even when it'd be better if she didn't.
まあまあ、落ち着けよジェシカ。エリカもそれくらいにしろって。
まあその後継者云々の話は置いといてもやな。いずれにせよお父さんからのビッグクエスチョンやというのは
ビッグクエスチョン。
200億やで。マリアちゃん、もし見つけたら何に使う？
おお、黄金鏡は黄金だけじゃない。もっと神聖な場所なの。
Uncle Hideyoshi kept trying to force himself to chuckle and improve the mood. Everyone else tried to play along, but Jessica's mood didn't get any better. Why are you laughing, George? Huh? What do you have to laugh about?
はい、灰色の脳細胞がうずきまくりです。ですので、謎解きを 早速始めたいと思います。
George Oniki turned the conversation around. Just like the time she'd made everyone laugh in the dining hall, Erica looked about with gleeful eyes and jumped at the chance.
気に入ったわ。せっかくエリカちゃんがまた去年みたいにみんなで謎解きをしてみましょうよ。
私コーヒー入れるわ。欲しい人は手を挙げて。
Like you raise your hand to slap your daughter?
マリアはダメよ。眠れなくなっちゃうでしょ。マリアもブラック飲む。
ワクワクしません？こういう謎、私は大好きです。
Erica said that and smiled, though she must have known she ticked off Jessica and made the atmosphere sour. She just smiled nonchalantly.
別に10月5日の事件を待たなくても解ける謎はあるってわけ。
そりゃ俺も何度か挑んださ。だが
でもさっぱりわからなかったから投げ出して考えるのをやめたでしょ。
It pissed me off, but I don't have a good counter for that. After all, I don't get the epitaph at all. I don't even know what the beloved hometown means, much less the parts about the Sweetfish River and the key. Thinking that a few more hints would show up if I waited, I kept on waiting and just stopped thinking.
あなたなりの答えは準備できてる？私が今から解いちゃうから。
何？
I think it leads to Beato's body.
エレンはね、ここで碑文の謎を解いちゃったのよ。
Or has something to do with it.
さすが奇跡の魔女ね。
Could be wrong though, because Ava got to the gold before, so it has to be somewhere. Maybe it's in the well tunnel.
解ける謎であるならば、難易度に関係なく必ず解ける。今度は解くのに何年かけたの？
失敬ね。かけらをほんの数百個ほど漁っただけじゃない。
やっぱり恐ろしいわ、あんたは。
それは赤で答えをいきなり語るとかそういうインチキじゃねえんだろうな。
安心なさい。あなたと同じプレイヤーとしてのルールにのっとってよ。じゃあ始めようかしら。
This is exciting.
ここじゃ狭いわ。海の上で話しましょう。
オッケー、酔わないでね、パトラー。
海って何の話だ
I thought the whole world had turned pitch black, and the next moment, I was struck by a strange floating sensation. This must be what it feels like to suddenly have the floor drop from under you, sending you into a bottomless pit. When I looked, it's like Higurashi. I saw two witches and I had been thrown into a pitch black universe. In this space, every direction was covered in an endless darkness, and it felt like a limitless expanse filled with countless glittering objects. Some people might have likened it to the depths of an ocean, where an innumerable sparkling fragments drifted. Just
重
don't
力
get
の概念が欲しいなら
queasy.
自分で生み出しなさい。ほら、落ち着いて私たちを見て。ほら、私たちは平気そうにしてるでしょ。足元に大地があって重力に支配されていると信じなさい。そうすれば安定できるから。
Yes, the two witches are standing normally as if their feet were planted on transparent pieces of glass. I'm the only one floating about like someone in a rapidly plummeting elevator. When I saw that they were doing just fine, I started to calm down, figuring that there was no need to be scared. Then, just as Lambda Delta said, I gritted my teeth and kept telling myself there was a place to stand here, that I had to stay calm. OMG, Battler used magic. Oh.
お上手お上手。あんたの名前は？
後ろ宮バトラ。他の誰に見えるよ。
オッケー。自分の意志、感情、姿や形を決して喪失してはダメよ。ここは海なんだからね。意味を喪失すれば永遠の深淵に落ちて海の藻くずよ。気をつけなさい。
I don't get what she's saying, but I calmed down for the time being. It seems I regained my equilibrium the more I calmed down. Gradually, that weird floating feeling like I was falling forever began to disappear. It still felt strange, like trying to stand up straight at the bottom of a deep pool, but it was much better than before.
では、碑文の謎を解くためのかけらを紡ぐ。
Barncastle opened both of her hands. Then, like a planetarium, all the fragments through this empty space began to spin, leaving tails behind them. The expression planetarium might have been surprisingly fitting. Multiple fragments were tied together by gold lines, and what looked like constellations zoomed by us rapidly, one after another. It felt almost as though we were dashing through space at an incredible speed. Then, with tails of light drifting behind them, several brightly glowing fragments swirled around Barncastle. It almost looked like she created her own solar system with her as the sun. The solar system surrounding Barncastle grew to a radius large enough to swallow us up. Every once in a while, one of those satellite fragments zoomed right past me. When those fragments passed by me, it felt as though some kind of memory welled up inside me, so I sensed it. The fragments are probably like crystallizations of memories.
記憶じゃないわ。世界のかけらよ。まあ、あんたには記憶のように感じられるだろうけどね。
では始めるわ。まずはこのかけらから。
One of the satellites in the solar system was slowly sucked into an inward trajectory with Barncastle at the center. After drawing a spiral and approaching her, it had settled down on the palm of her hand. Then it glittered brightly, painting over the world with pure white.
懐かしき故郷は私たちの想像をきっと裏切らないわ。お父様が唯一懐かしむ過去は少年時代だけだもの。
覚えてるぜ。これは第3のゲームでエヴァおばさんが碑文の謎を解く直前にしていた。
そうよ。そしてこの考察から彼女は正解を紡ぎ出した。つまり正解へ至る重要なヒントを示すかけらとなる。
Something to do with his childhood.
この推理は間違っていないということなのよ。
つまり懐かしき故郷とやらばそのままじい様が少年時代を
そういうこと。そして少なくともそれは小田原ではないわ。
生まれは確かに小田原だけど、それについては多分兄弟たちは全員同じ場所で認識してるわね。
そうね、多分小田原じゃないわ。聞いた話ではとても楽しい少年時代だったそうよ。
そうだな。エヴァおばさんたち兄弟は小田原であることを否定していた。いや、それどころかみんなはじい様の故郷がどこか察しているようだった。
そう。そして意地悪なことに、それがどこなのかはどのかけらでも語っていない。
そりゃそうです。それを教えてあげちゃったらヒントが過ぎちゃうわ。難易度の高い謎でなきゃ意味がないんだから。あらいけない、これもヒントになっちゃうわね。
一体じいさまの故郷というのはどこだったん？それがわからなくちゃ始まらない。
始まらないから思考を停止したわけ。住み得た場所である以上、それは有限の範囲内だわ。まあここが一番辛いところなんだ。
お前は確か解ける謎である限り絶対に解く。つまりお前は、つまり地球上の全てからじいさまの住んでそうな土地を全て想定して考えた。
そうしてもいいけれど、それじゃあ時間がいくらあっても足りないわ。だからさらにヒントを加味して答えを絞る必要があった。自分で言ったじゃない。水の流れる川かどうかわからないって。鮎という言葉がそんなにもややこしいなら忘れてしまえば。
It's like an ocean. This is why I thought it was where Beatrice's body died, because she died by the ocean.
川で川で家系図という連想は悪くないわ。その要領で川から連想するものを他にも考えてみて。故郷を貫くしかしその川は、エヴァは川から連想できる他のもの。
そうだな。しかし川じゃない。考
えなさい。故郷を貫く川でも水の流れる川じゃないわ。川のようにも例えられるもの。
Oh, like the path to Rokujima?
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。エヴァは故郷がどこか分かってたから鮎というヒントを切り捨てて考えたけど、故郷を知らない私たちにはヒントになりうるかもしれないわ。
鮎の川に悩みすぎ。鮎なんて大した意味ないじゃない。
そんなこと立派なヒントだったじゃない。まあ確かに鮎である必要はなかったかもね。
鮎って何なんだ。川が言葉通りの川でない以上、鮎だってもちろん泳ぐ魚を意味したりはしないはずだ。
そうね。その上ローザに至っては鮎に大した意味はないとまで言い捨ててるわ。その一方でエヴァは鮎である必要はないが立派なヒントだったとも言っている。つまり鮎は何かを想起させる鍵だということ。その何かが他の単語であっても想起できるなら、エヴァの言う鮎である必要はないがという言葉につながってくる。
From these thoughts, Ava formed some theory, went to the library, looked through some books, and verified that she was right. In short, Ava formed some theory about the true nature of the Sweetfish River running through a hometown. Then she carefully opened a certain book to determine whether that theory was correct or not. In other words, this theory was something that could be verified through some kind of book. Also, after she figured out what the Sweetfish River was, she figured out the rest of the riddle very quickly.
良い思考よ。気分は川を下ればやがて里ありと続く。エヴァはその時点ではそこから始まる産業の謎を解けてはいなかった。
里ってどういう意味？この川を下ると里なんてあるの？
Right before my eyes, the piece that I had been able to understand at all began to snap into place all by themselves. I couldn't even remember to close my mouth. My throat grew completely dry. Is it really okay for this to be the answer? Really? Really?
つまり故郷を貫く鮎の川が分かれば自動的に川を下れば里あり云々が分かって黄金鏡の鍵が手に入るってわけだ。
そういうことよ。エヴァもその書物を読んで確かめるまでは川を下った里のことは分からなかったみたい。
くそ、その書物って何なんだ。
でもこれは全然6文字。これが答えに間違いないって断言できるけど、これは全然6文字に満たない。
また思考停止なら、それを6文字で読める方法を考えなさい。思いつかないなら調べなさい。きっと答えはある。それを疑ってはダメ。それが信じられないなら、とっとと泣き寝入りでもしてへそでもかんで死んじゃえば。
1、2、3、4、5、6、6文字。見つけた。これが黄金鏡への鍵。
そしてエヴァは黄金鏡への鍵を見つけたわ。
ああ、そしてその鍵、6文字の何か。言葉か数字か文字列なんだ。
Is it the numbers? Is it just in the chapel? I don't know.
そういうこと。
Because of the numbers that were displayed in the first game?
鍵の正体が6つの文字だと分かれば、第一の番の意味がだいぶ分かってくる。
第一の番に鍵の選び師6人生贄に捧げよ。鍵の選び師6人、6文字。
In other words, it means to sacrifice 6 characters chosen by the key on the first Twilight.
この鍵がある。いえ、あると。もしこれが例えばアナグラムかもしれないわ。
アナグラム、文字遊びのことかな。
Yes, Cutie-san has been thinking that way ever since that moment.
第二の番に残されし者はとある。ということは、少なくともその何かは有限の文字数なのよ。そこから6文字を抜いて残った文字で話を進めろと読み解けるわ。
つまり第一の番に鍵である6文字を殺し。
This is the hardest thing to solve in the game, by the way. Well, I don't think I'm gonna
残った文
solve
字で
it.
どうにかしろという意味なんだ。
そういうこと。ただ当時の切り絵も言ってる。ならば何から6文字を殺せばいいの。その殺す大元の文字列がわからない。
On the first Twilight, kill the 6 characters that are the key. On this first Twilight.
つまり第一の番という時点でもう何かの文字列が存在するということなのか。しかし第一の番地、他の読み方か。じいさま風に英語で読むならファーストナイト。
グッとバトラさんのその考え。鍵の選び師6人の生贄を6文字の文字列と読み解く。柔軟な発想だと思います。鍵が鍵の形状をしたものとは限りませんから。
アナグラムの可能性は私も考えてたの。
そういや、以前そんなことを言ってたな。
You would need Japanese knowledge to solve it? Oh, for sure.
しかしだとしたら
Then I don't know.
何から6文字を抜くんだ。
そうね、6文字も抜く以上、それ以上の文字数だわ。第一の番を6文字以上にどう読み解けばいいのかしら。
お父様のセンスならやっぱり英語なのかしら。
行き詰まるようなら先に第2の番に進み、 ヒントを探してみ。残されし者は寄り添う2人を引き裂け。残されし者は6文字を抜いた後に残った文字だと考えてよいでしょう。
となると、寄り添う2文字とはどういう意味になるんだろう。
分かったぜ。つまりはこういうことだ。
For example, let's take the following list of 9 characters. And let's say that 6 characters offer sacrifices are 1, 3, 6, 7, and 9. In this case, we erase the aforementioned 6 characters and get 2, 4, 5.
2と4と5が残るな。それでどうなるってんだ？
あ、4と5寄り添ってる。
そうか、わかったね。
Well, they did give us a list of numbers, but I
つま
don't
り寄
remember
り
what
添いし
they
2
are.
人っちゅうんは。
そうさ。2と4は間が空いているが、4と5は隣り合っている。寄り添いし2人だ。
グッとお見事です、バトラさん。引き裂くという意味が4と5も潰せ、4と5の間を開けと言っているのかは分かりかねますが、
なら第3の番の残されし者は誉れ高き我が名を。
文字遊びである可能性が高い以上、残された文字は誉れ高き我が名を
難しいね。どういう意味だろう。
どなたか分かる方は？私は多分分かっちゃいました。
何？教えなさいよ。
これもアナグラムか。
またしてもグッと。バトラさんはなかなか発想が柔軟です。
アナグラムって文字遊びって意味だよね。ということは、
つまり残った文字を入れ替えると何かの単語ができるという意味じゃないかしら。
だな。とすると、ちょいと勇み足なんか。俺は第一の番に間引く大元の文字数は11文字じゃないかと。
またしてもお見事。私も同じ見解でした。
どうしてや。どうして11文字なんて言えるんや。
生贄を一人殺すというのは文字を一文字潰すことを意味すると思われます。第2の番の引き裂けをとりあえず2文字の間を開けという意味で解釈した場合なら11文字。この引き裂けが2文字を潰せという意味なら13文字になると想定されます。なぜならその後の第4の番から第8の番にかけて、そしてその次の第9の番で誰も生き残れないと書かれています。
魔女が蘇るって部分をとりあえず無視するなら、これは第一の番に6文字潰し、寄り添った文字を割いてぴったり文字がなくなるという意味ではないかと考えたんだ。
So that makes 6 plus 5 or 11 characters. If tearing apart the two who are close in the second twilight means to kill both of them, that makes 13 characters. There's a chance the word symbolizing the first twilight has 11 or 13 characters. Wait, it couldn't be that easy, could it?
実にお見事です。私とまさに同じ推理。
OMG Bunny, you okay? George talked without you shouting. I know, I just...
バトラさんもどうやら
Oh, I'm trying to ignore
私
his
と同じ
existence.
灰色の脳細胞に
よせやい。適当だぜ、適当。おい、駒の俺は随分と頭が切れるじゃねえか。おかげで俺の推理する出番がねえぜ。
ああ、ごめんな。バトラはこの時不在だったから私の方で勝手に駒を操らせても切れ者っぽくていいでしょ。
I was wondering why Battler was so smart.
あんたはベルにプレイヤーをしてもらった方が賢そうに見えるわ。プレイヤーは降りて駒に専念した方がよくない？
Joined in on this game partway through, well after the murders occurred on October 5th. That means the piece called Me was controlled by the player Burn Castle, so I guess that means it's possible for her reasoning to be announced through my mouth. The game I'm watching now is nothing more than a replay of a part that's already ended. However, that's probably good enough for now. After all, this is Burn Castle. Sama is going out of her way to solve the epitaph for me. I'll watch closely for now. and I'm trying to find out what it means. Lambda Delta let it slip herself just a second ago.
そりゃそうでしょ。それを教えてあげちゃったら、難易度の高い謎でなきゃ意味がない。あらいけない。これもヒントになっちゃうわね。
Theory about grandfather creating the epitaph in order to choose a successor isn't bad at all. Erica and Berncastle's logic is extremely reasonable, but that's only if we assume grandfather was the one to create it. He was probably alive at the time the epitaph was displayed, but of course grandfather is already dead by 1986. And in the games up until now, Beatrice threatens us repeatedly with letters, saying that the only way to survive was to solve the epitaph, trying to force us to solve the riddle. In other words, it was Beatrice's intention that we would try and solve the riddle of the epitaph. The epitaph is so confusing that in most cases the relatives never seriously tried solving it until the threatening letters started to arrive. That's why Beatrice fired the starting pistol that made us take a go at it. Why is Beatrice carrying out grandfather's will after his death? Like the theory proposed in the first game, is Beatrice really his confidant who's following his orders even after his death, trying to select the successor with the riddle of the epitaph in grandfather's stead? No, she's trying to get to the Golden Land. If she did that, it would mean Beatrice really was Kinzo's trusted underling, the family alchemist she claimed to be in that letter. After grandfather's death, Beatrice managed the 10 tons of gold and took the title of alchemist. She was entrusted with the epitaph's riddle, and without ever embezzling the gold, she waited for a human fitting to be the successor to appear to solve it. And if that human didn't appear within a set time limit, would that be game over? Certainly Aunt Ava, who solved the riddle of the third game, became the only survivor and automatically the final head of the Uchiromiya family, inheriting everything. Up until now, no one has ever survived until past October 5th except Aunt Ava, the one who solved the epitaph. That was the only case where Beatrice let anyone survive. Is Beatrice's loyalty to grandfather the thing that drove her? Was she so loyal that she faithfully carried out some terrible order to kill everyone if the epitaph wasn't solved? I must not stop thinking. Don't stop thinking. She's probably doing it to escape Kinzo. Think about why it's significant. Why is Beatrice telling us to solve the epitaph? Why is she making us solve such a confusing epitaph? If Beatrice makes us try and solve this epitaph we have no real chance of solving, by some lucky chance a miracle occurs and someone is able to solve it, what significance would that have to her? I don't know what such miracle would be worth to Beato.
いずれにせよ、第一の番がわからねえ限り、これ以上はお手上げだな。
We tried looking at it from several different angles, but in the end we got stuck there and made no further advances. Oh, hello. What nice music to start the stream off too. Oops. Hope you're all doing well today. I don't know. I had a train of thought and then it ran right away from me. So I'm just gonna get into Umineko then. Maria let out an extra large yawn. This called several other people to yawn. Wait, what mic do I have? Okay, not that one. We'd been using our heads so much that everyone had gotten a little sleepy. Jessica, who'd been silent and irritated the whole time, quickly stood up. She's like, fuck all you fake bitches! Kill yourself, George! I'm sorry. I had to get it out of the way. Okay, Why are you saying
僕もあ
okay
げるよ
about? No! 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 Get away!
そうだ、みんなで上でトランプでもしようか。
Hey Bunny, hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm just gonna do a short stream. But thank you very much. I am feeling better from earlier, but I'm still not 100. But I wanted to stream a little bit. When George... Oh! The hatred, it flows through my veins. Maria completely forgot about the big yawn of hers and started jumping around, insisting that she wanted to play cards. According to the clock, it was already 10 at night. You know, I was thinking the other day, I don't know why people think Rosa and Beatrice is so outrageous. Because that's the only opinion I've gotten so much shit for from so many different people. Where they hate that shit, but they're just blind. According to the clock, it was already 10 at night. It was already about time you'd normally take a bath and get ready for sleep. Even the adults seemed pretty wary from traveling. We decided to continue this later and we went our separate ways.
エリカちゃんも一緒にどう？トランプ。
お気持ちだけで結構で客人の分もわきまえず、ちょっとしきりすぎました。今夜はおとなしく休もうと思います。自分が遭難者であることをすっかり忘れていましたから。
Hopefully streaming makes you get your energy back. Yeah, hopefully.
まったくだぜ。とても溺れてたとは思えない元気さだ。
若さね。でも楽しかったわ。あなたのおかげで推理が一層進んだ気がする。
I don't know, when people tell me what their favorite character is, I just look at them how I see them and I'm just like, why? Like, I know someone's favorite character is Ava and I'm just like, she's such a hateful bitch.
もし私が黄金を見つけたら
Now if someone said
100万円くらい
Kirie,
は
I don't understand that.
せめて気前よく1億ぐらいドーンとは言えんのか。
結構です。私に興味があるのは謎解きだけですので、それではこれで失礼します。おやすみなさい。
おやすみ。
あら、バトラ君は上に行かないの？
俺はちょっと面白くなっちまったんで。
Because I know future things, but I see it as a good ship. Everyone can have their own opinions and truths. Well, my truth is the best one. What can I say?
もう少しここで考えをまとめてみます。第一の番を示す文字列さえ分かれば、きっと一気に道は開けると思うんすけどね。
Of course, of course. Everyone went up to the second floor one by one. Only Aunt Rosa remained behind, cleaning up the coffee cups everyone had been drinking out of. Kire-san and some others had offered to help, but Rosa had refused and was washing them all alone. Since I'd just been treated to such delicious coffee, I decided to help too. I wasn't just doing it because I felt obligated. I wanted to keep discussing the epitaph with someone.
第一の番。ローザおばさんはなんか思いつく文字列とか言葉あるっすか？
さあ、私には全然。でも第一の番じゃなくて第10の番はちょっと気になったかしら。
第10の番？何ですか？
黄金鏡って単語何度も出てくるでしょ？
出てきますね。
なぜか第10の番だけ旅は終わり黄金の今日、いえ黄金の里へ至るだろうって書かれているの。どうしてここだけ黄金の里と書かれているのか気になってね。
本当だ。確かに他はみんな黄金鏡って書かれてるのに。
That line should have been a key part of the riddle, where you wouldn't expect a writer to waste words needlessly. Could it have been done for some special purpose?
しかしバトラ君とあのエリカちゃんって子はすごいわね。発想が本当に柔らかい。私なんかもうおばさんだから 頭が全然回転しないのよ。今日の鍵の選び師6人は6文字を
Chapter 8 is mostly the reason for everyone
という
liking
推理は
Ava, so it'll be
見
a
事だった
while.
わ。
Oh, for sure.
そう聞かされちゃったらもうそうにしか思えないけれど、それ
Look
まで
how
は
happy
全然
she
そうだ
is
と
when
思わ
she's
なかったも
not
んね。
beating her child to death. And she's such a
自分の
bitch.
頭の硬さが嫌になるわ。
そんなことないっすよ。
Also, speaking of, let me just. People act as if Rosa's done a bunch of heinous shit, as if Beato hasn't literally killed everyone in really mean ways many times. Like, okay, bitch. Just saying. Just saying. They got the evil together. They can abuse everyone together.
その黄金の里って発見は何かの鍵になるかもしれないじゃないですか。
とんでもない。カチカチよ。
Because they read confessions that's in the manga. I don't really understand, but
私な
I'll
んて
take your word
つい
for
こ
it.
の間までは第一の番というのは黄金鏡までの道中の10分の1の場所だとか思ってたんだから。
なんすかそれ。面白そうだから聞かせてくれませんか。
だって第一の番の前の行に黄金鏡へ旅立って、そして10日をかけて旅をするわけだから、これはその旅の途中のお話なんだろうと思ったの。
旅確かに。
それで旅を始めて最初の一晩目のキャンプで6人を生贄に捧げ
I
て、
won't tell you what that is now, but after chapter 7 you will want to read it.
ならその場所ってどこだろう。
Okay.
スタート地点から何キロ目なんてね。
なんてね。
内緒よ。おばさんバカだから黄金の里のことずっと黄金の京って、ほら京って言うと京都みたいでしょ。だからお父様の故郷から京都までの旅路の最初の10分の1の地点に何か秘密が隠されてるんじゃないかって思って。
いや、めちゃくちゃ斬新っすよ。その発想。
めちゃくちゃ。
10日をかけての旅の最初の一番目の場所。そこの
Completely unrelated to anything going on. I've been watching Cowboy Bebop, and it's interesting.
それを知るにはスタート地点と
I
ゴール
hope
地点
it's
が
not
分
one
から
of
ない
those
とね。
things where people hype it so much that when you finally watch it, you're like, oh. Because that's happened to me too many times before. Like, I like it, don't get me wrong, I like it so far. But people are saying it's like the best anime to ever exist. And I'm like, oh. I hope I can. I'm on episode 20, so.
スタート地点は分か
I
ったの
got like 7 more episodes. No, it's not.
お父様が懐かしむ故郷は分かってる。
People say that about Akira too. People are saying Akira is one of the like best. And I liked Akira. I just saw it recently. I liked it. I didn't dislike it. I actually did like it. I enjoyed it very much. But maybe it was, but it has one of the best final episodes. Oh, so maybe at the end of it I'll end up really liking it. I mean, I already like it. Like I said, really love that final ep so much. Well,
お父様は少年時代をとても遠方で過ごされたのよね。でも問題はゴールの黄金鏡ね。一体どこのことなのかしら。それがわからなきゃ私の説もさっぱり。長いことここで行き詰まってたんだけど、今日のバトラ君たちの推理を聞いてて、やっぱり私の恥ずかしい勘違いだったんだわって思い知ったわ。
いや、それはそれできっと面白い発想だと思います。スタートとゴール、10日間の旅、その最初の一晩目の到達点。
nothing really that amazing. It kind of aged.
案外バトラ君ならポロッと解けちゃったりしてね。もしおばさんのヒントで解けたなら1割の半分でもいいから分けっこしてね。約束よ。
Despite being my aunt, she gave me a smile and a wink which would have made a man's heart jump. As I helped her wash the coffee cups, I kept pondering the Epita's riddle in silence. After I finished helping Aunt Rosa, I passed through the corridor on my way to the bathroom and saw Erica unlocking a door to a room on my path.
あんたの部屋は2階じゃなかったか？てっきり上に上がってもう部屋で休んでるのかと思ってたぜ。
ちょっと探し物をしてまして、ここにならあるのではないかと思いまして。
探し物？
Erica unlocked the door and opened it. A dusty smell drifted out. It was the library. For a library, the gaps between bookshelves were extremely small. This was obviously built for storing books, not reading them.
探し物ってのは本なのか?
So if anyone asked for a while, do you think both Umineko and White Album, which story do you prefer, the drama or the mystery? I don't know, because I played a lot more of Umineko than I have of White Album. My favorite is Higurashi, where it's both. Higurashi is definitely, I still definitely like Higurashi a lot more than Umineko. Like, I like Umineko, but people told me it was way, I don't know, in general, people seem to like Umineko a lot more than Higurashi, which is totally fine. Maybe it's because I haven't finished it yet, but I liked Higurashi a lot better. And so there's parts of White Album that I really like too. I wish it was the drama was a bit more intense, but it might get that way, you know what I mean? I haven't played it enough, so I don't know. Like it took a while for Umineko to vamp up. What kind of story you like? I don't know. I thought I answered the question. Like, that's the kind of story I like. I'm not good with words. Character or story? I don't know. I don't really know the difference between a character-driven or a story-driven game. Because to me, they're both important. Because I tend to really like characters in games. But if the story sucks, then you don't even get to the point of liking a character. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to answer that question.
本と言いますか、まあ資料です。どうしてもしたい調べ物がありまして。
碑文の謎に関する探し物か?
Do you prefer drama or mystery? I guess I don't know. I guess I prefer drama a bit more.
200億の黄金は魅力か?
But I like both of them. I hadn't given up either. Apparently being stubborn is something we both share.
まさか。
You look like you enjoy what you enjoy. Sorry, I tried answering it.
黄金を求めるのは推理が正しかったことの証明が欲しいからだけです。仮に見つけても猫ババなんてしませんのでご安心を。
See, well then why are you asking me which one I like? Why you ask me to compare them if I said that? I said, you know, I've played way more Umineko than White Album, so I have no idea how to really compare them yet, because I have to really get into White Album. She immediately, not that I'm upset or anything, it's just more like a silly, but I get it, you're just curious, you just be asking me questions. I'm just not good at answering. She immediately cast my comment aside, saying she just likes solving riddles and had no interest at all in gold. I thought she was pretty weird from the start, and it looks like that impression was spot on. She only cares about chopsticks. Erica slowly circled the bookshelf, searching for the book she was after.
俺もまだ挑戦中だぜ。ああ、そうそう。さっきローザおばさんに第一の番のヒントになるかもしれない。
伺います。
Erica asked this without stopping her search or even turning to face me.
第一の番にの前の行に鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いうんぬんってのがあったろ。
鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いて 黄金郷へ旅立つべし。
I wasn't asking to compare them, I wanted to know what you love. Well, you asked me what I prefer.
ふう、もう暗記したのかよ。さすがだな。
それがどうかしたんですか？
Like my favorite anime is Elfen Light. That has a lot of mystery, but it's mostly story, I guess, and drama. Like, that's one of my favorite. It has a lot of really strong characters, really strong story, but there's still a ton of mystery in it.
黄金郷へ旅立つべしだろ。ローザおばさんは第10の番、すなわち10日をかけて懐かしき故郷から黄金郷へ向けて旅に出るということを連想したらしい。
実はそれは私も気づいてました。10日かかる旅路の1日目にたどり着く場所、そこから生贄を捧げる。
ああ、ローザおばさんもまさにそれを想像した。
Yeah, as those two are what you play now, I don't know what you played before. Oh, I see what you're saying. I haven't really played a lot. Like, Higurashi was one of my first visual novels besides Danganronpa. And I really love Danganronpa. So I really just haven't played. Oh, you know what I have played, which I really, really, really love, which has both mystery and story, is the Nonary games. Have you heard of that series? There's a character a lot like me called June in that series too.
10日の旅の初日にたどり着く場所、その土地。
Nope, what is that? Why you have it? It's so good! You gotta play it! You gotta play it. It's called... Let me look up the official name on my Steam. Is it just... Where the heck is it? I am looking. I don't see it. I found it. Zero Escape the Nonary Games. That's what it's called. Sorry about that. It took me a second to find it. Zero Escape the Nonary Games. I haven't finished it yet, but it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's like a kidnapping mystery. Sort of. Kind of. It's like a puzzle game too.
地名が鍵になるのではないかという推測は私もしています。だから資料が見たいんです。推測を確信に変えるために。
あんた、探し物は何だ?
Then Erica's hand suddenly stopped and she slowly pulled it out. As she dusted it off, she finally looked at me and spoke.
地図帳です。
Send you. I'll message you the name. Natsuhi could be seen in the study. When she muttered as though to herself, gold butterflies appeared and formed the shape of a person. Sorry if I can't explain myself properly. I'm not that good with getting my Indian into words. Oh no, you're good. Same with me. It's much easier in your head than in words.
やはりお父様が不機嫌で出てこないというだけではごまかしきれません。
去年の時点で相当の不信を持たれていたようだ。
去年から疑われていただけではないでしょうな。
そうですね。それだけでは説明がつかないくらいに毒素は濃密に練り上げられています。おそらく金蔵様の死を去年の時点から疑い、今年の会議にて暴こうという強い意志。去年の時点から騙しきれていなかったということですか。
残念ながらそうお考えになる方が今はよろしいかと。明日も台風はとどまり、迎えの船はあさってになります。つまりあと最低でも36時間を持ちこたえねばならないということです。
夏日の目には見えぬであろう。
That's the 999 game.
この部屋を閉ざす密室結界は極めて強固なものだった。それが今夜だけでボロボロに擦り切れ、嵐を待つ枯葉のようなありさまだ。
It's so good.
嵐の真っ只中
Heard a
にあ
lot
り
of
ます
good
よ。
things about it. Yup.
夏日様、私は密室結界を別のものに変えることを提案いたします。別のものというのはどういう意味ですか。つまり作戦を変えるという意味ですか。
さようでございます。私とワルギリア様で去年のものに近い結界を再構築します。
つまり去年のように金蔵を極力書斎の外に出し、毒素の影から影へと綱渡りをさせるということだ。危険ではあるが、わらわもそれを提案したい。
何ですって、今さら作戦を変えるというのですか。
Yeah,
籠城では切り抜けられぬと分かった以上、城を捨てることも考えねばなりません。
この書斎はもはや敵兵に囲まれ城壁さえも破られかけた城に同じ。
Have you seen the anime Shiki? I also love that anime.
ザセは死を意味するならば、
I think that's like a mystery.
玉砕を求めて最後の出陣をするのも手でしょうな。降伏できぬ戦いでしょうから。
お父様の秘密は最後の最後まで絶対に死守します。
絶対に。
それを蹴取られれば言い繕う余地など何もない。主人の横領は白日の下にさらされ、後宮家の名誉は失墜します。断固としてそれだけは防がねばなりません。
落ち着け。分かっておるわ。クラウスの錬金術はじきに大勢を迎える。
It's interesting that she calls herself an alchemist and then called what Kraus is doing alchemy.
今年を乗り切ればなんとかなるのだ。だからうろたえるでない。
しかし去年と同じ手では無理だとして取った作戦が、この一度は無理と切り捨てた作戦を再び選ぶのは愚の骨頂ではありませんか。一体今さらどういう筋書きを作るというのですか。それは私とロノウェイで用意します。お任せを。幻想を生み出すのは魔女たちの役目。
Heard of it but never watched it.
夏日様はそのご許可をくださるだけで結構でございます。
お師匠様もロノウェイもこういう時は
I'll keep giving White Album a play. Well, I was gonna do that anyways. Then you can try Shiki.
片翼のわしの使用人どもも
I love Shiki.
幹具としては優秀だ。お師匠様たちが魔法を再構築すれば、それを守るために働くだろう。今からでも決して遅くはない。金蔵を書斎から出し、その幻想を歩き回らせよ
う。その作戦を長く検討し、それでも有効なものが見出せなかったから籠城を選んだことを忘れましたか。急場にうろたえ、軽々しく当初の作戦を投げ出すなど愚かしいことです。
That's not what they're doing though. If only you knew how many things are on my list.
牢城では
Same
もは
for
や
me
しの
though.
ぎきれぬこと
For
は
real.
毒素の真っ只中でそれを感じ取っておられた夏日様が一番ご存知のはずです。私は牢城の方針は変えずに何とか他の作戦を考えられないかと提案します。とにかくこの部屋を密室に保ちさえすれば誰もお父様の存在を否定はできないのです。開けることのできぬ猫箱の中身を断定することなど何人にもできないのですから。
確かにそう、人間どもは不条理であるぞ。密閉した猫箱とてケーキの箱に群がるクロアリのように箱を食い破って中に入ることもあり得る。ベルンカステル教の駒も気になるしな。
エリカ様が晩餐の話題をさらってくださったのはおかげで今夜の親族会議をお開きにできる雰囲気を生み出してくれたのですが、普段のように即座に親族会議となっていたら今夜にも結界は破られ。
しかしそのせいでより濃密に毒素は練り上げられました。明日まで練り上げられた毒素は
For real, I have no idea why. These days I don't feel like doing anything, but I'll watch it soon. Oh yeah, no pressure, of course. I get it.
牢
Sometimes
城
you're
を
just in
続
that
けるにせよ
mood.
やめるにせよどちらにせよ新しい作戦と結界を用意しなくては明日は乗り越えられません。
密室結界を破るための何かの策があるのかもしれぬな。ベルンカ、あのエリカというこまめ侮れぬぞ。
それを言えば例の19年前の復讐とかいう謎の男もベルンカステル教の駒かもしれません。18の駒で均衡が取れていた盤面に望まぬ駒が2つも追加された。イレギュラーが多すぎます今年は。
ベルンカステル教は日本のチェス、将棋ではゲーム中に駒を追加することもできるというではないか。
ええ、可能ですよ。敵のキングの目の前に駒置き場より取り出したクイーンを置くことさえ将棋では許された切り札たる一手です。19年前を語る男はどうしているのでしょう。この島のどこかにすでに潜んでいるというのでしょうか。あのエリカという少女が漂着と称して現れることができたのです。あの男もこの台風にもかかわらず島のどこかに上陸し息を潜めているの。そして親族たちをもはや騙しきる。どうしてこうもイレギュラーが重なるのですか。この悪夢と偶然の奇跡をどう説明すればいいというのですか。
Natsuhi slammed the desk hard, held her head, and cringed at the pain from her overwhelming headache.
ベルンカステル教は奇跡を司る。あの御人の前にイレギュラーと奇跡は驚くにも値せぬぞ。
将棋は確かにキングの真正面に敵の駒が突如現れることを認めたゲームです。ですがだからこそそこに隙間を作らぬ完璧な陣形を作りキングを守る芸術的な城を構築します。
ならばやはり牢城は正しいではありませんか。
こもりきれる牢城ならばいざ知れず、今はそれを期待で。
壁を背負わぬキングを詰めるのは難しく、四方を分けたキングを詰めるのはさらに困難だろう。ネズミで考えよ。カゴに閉じ込めたネズミをつかむことはできよう。しかし野に逃げ出したネズミをつかむことなど、雲をつかむ。
夏日様、どうか検討することのご許可を。金蔵様が書斎をお出になり、気まぐれに屋敷内を闊歩しながら、それが自然である筋書きを明朝までに考えます。危険では。それくらいならお父様がこの部屋で機嫌を損ねられていることを演じ続けた方が。明日にも親族の方々はこの書斎の前に詰めかけるでしょう。そこの扉一枚向こう側に詰めかけるのです。そこで夏日様は金蔵様と怒鳴り合いをしているかのようなふりを一体何時間続けられるというのですか。不可能です。その不可能を何とか36時間逃げ切らねばならないのです。 やれと言うならやります。私は後宮夏日、後宮家当主の妻です。それをやれと言うなら、私は何日でもここでお父様と怒鳴り合いをしているところを演じましょう。
Even Natsu realized she could never manage it, but she no longer saw any chance of victory from a plan that involved an illusion of Kinzo walking around. Banging on the desk several times with tears of rage streaming down her face, Natsuhi alternated between groaning from her headache and placing the blame on one thing or another. It made one feel that there must be some curse that made anyone who sat in the chair act that way.
これは奥様が逃げる詰将棋ですな。詰将棋ですから相手のキングはない。決められた手数を逃げ切る以外に奥様に勝つ手はないのです。
その手数か。あと1日半もあるなんて。多すぎます。
Meanwhile, Cross is doing nothing.
降参するでない。愚痴はわらわが聞こうぞ。だから音を上げるでないぞ。
Beatrice is really trying to help.
そなたの絶対にこの苦難を乗り越えようという絶対の意志が、それこそが絶対の魔女の力。その魔力を失ってはならぬ。
Cheer up, bunny. Get better, bunny. I'm not in a bad mood.
必ず乗り越えられると信じよ。きっと
We need to be cheering that to Natsuhi.
だからそれを考えることを投げ出してはならぬ。
そうですね。分かっています。私が乗り越えねば他の誰にも乗り越えられぬ困難なのです。
そうとも。それを乗り越えてみせよとそなたは金蔵に託されたのではないか。金蔵はそなたなら託せると認めたのだ。
お父様、お父様。
Just falls.
お師匠様とロノウェが手は考える。もちろんわらわも考える。だが主であるそなたの許可なくばそれも許されぬ。だからせめてそなたは戦う意志を捨てるな。諦めるな。
分かってます。分かってます。でももう疲れ切って。どうして私はどうして。
Yeah, why isn't Cross doing fucking anything?
ここにいてくれないの。
Back when dinner ended, Cross claimed to be dizzy and went to bed early. Of course, he had already done this and he had done this to get enough rest to ready himself for the long day ahead. But to Natsuhi right now, it felt as though he'd just gone straight to sleep and pushed the entire burden on her. However, complaining about such a thing would mean her failure as a wife. Oh my god, no, it wouldn't. What do I think of Erica? I think she's interesting. She's a little mean. But she is Burncastle's piece, so it makes sense that she's a little mean. Isn't the good wife's duty to work hard to put her family first, even when her husband is resting? Filled with regret even at her anger towards her husband. Unable to determine at whom she should be angry, Natsuhi continued to sob. Oh. If only Kinzo could just speak to her kindly at times like this. Beato searched for him, but Kinzo had been nowhere to be seen at the studies for some time now. Perhaps Natsuhi had noticed this as well. Though she bragged that fighting alone and supporting from behind was the responsibility of a good wife. Without anyone to tell her that this was really necessary, she was now so frail that she couldn't even stop her own tears. Just as Buto was trying to think of words to console Natsui, Virgilia tapped her lightly on the shoulder. Sometimes when words of consolation don't come from the mouth of the right person, they can do more harm than good. So Virgilia silently told Buto that remaining silent was the best course of action for now.
お取り込み中にごめんなさい。部外者だけど発言いいかしら。
Gapu. Don't forget the chopsticks. True, true.
今は慎みなさい。いや、この場にいる限り部外者も客人もありません。発言を許します。
ありがとう。さっきロノウェは言ったわ。これは夏日が逃げる詰将棋だとね。詰将棋はどうして負けるの？キングがチェックメイトされるからでしょ。言われるまでもないわ。そして敵にはキングがない。だから夏日は自分のキングを逃がし続けるしかない。
なるほど、その手ですか。もうその時が来ましたか。
どういうことで何か手があるというのですか？
夏日はゴールドスミスの死を隠す一番最初に提案、それを使う時が来たということよ。
失踪ですか？その一手を親族会議危険すぎます。
Once they successfully resolved all their problems, they would have to lay Kinzo to rest, and the best way to do that would to make him disappear. One day Kinzo would go out in the forest and never return. They wouldn't be able to find him no matter how much they searched, and he would be declared missing.
さっきリーチェも言ったわ。野に逃れたネズミを捕まえることはできない。そして森に消えたゴールドスミスを捕らえることもね。
それで言い逃れられると？この最も疑われた今にその一手を指すなど、まさに自殺にも等しい一手です。
疑われるでしょう。まさに疑惑と呼ば。しかしこの書斎に彼らが金蔵様を捕らえることは永遠に不可能で、その死はこれほどまでに疑わしいにもかかわらず
36時間どころか永遠に金蔵の秘密を守ることができ、もちろんそれにふさわしいリスクを背負うことになる。その一手を指せば確かにこの場を乗り切ることはできようが、失う名誉も計り知れぬぞ。それでも確実にこの場を乗り切れる一手よ。もちろん疑惑を大きく背負うわ。でも死なない。
確かにそれはそうですが、
関東大震災で後ろ宮家は本当だったら滅んでいるはずだったのよ。それを狂気の天才ゴールドスミスが再建して、あなたが守りたくなるくらいに立派に再建してみせたわ。なら今度はそれをあなたたち新しき当主夫妻がやってみせるべきなのよ。
ほう、そういう煽り方をなさいますか。
煽りじゃないわ。当主夫人としての覚悟を私は聞いているだけよ。泥をすすってでも後ろ宮家を守る覚悟があなたにはあるんでしょ。
あります。
今がその時よ。泥をすすって生き延びられるならいくらでも飲み干しなさい。あなたは苦害を這いずって生き延び、やがては必ず栄光を取り戻す。この序列第33位のガープがそれを約束してあげるわ。
ガープ。
私がこのタイミングでここへ遊びに来たのはきっと守ってあげる。対価は不要よ。あんたに仕えてるリーチューからすでにたっぷり前払いされてるわ。
Gap may have seemed irresponsible, but she actually possessed a strong sense of duty. She was the kind of person who just couldn't leave someone in trouble alone.
前払い？はて、記憶にないぞ。
あなたがどこにしまったか思い出せないマジックアイテムの数、随分とちょろまかせてもらってる。
Oh my god, Gap.
見つからないのはやはりそなたの仕業だったか。返せ、幻の金髄賞とムーンステッキ返せ。まだくっつけて遊んでないのに。私から授けられる魔法と作ゴールドスミスを誰にも見つけられない世界へ、この魔法が必要に。その直前まで夏日は
確か
にSailor Moon
選択肢を残すことは心のゆとりを残すこと。心にゆとりなくして両案も生まれぬものです。
夏日様、夜は短くありません。ガープの手は最後の切り札とし、そのご許可をどうか。そして必ず成し遂げられるという信頼と魔力と絶対の信念を我らにお与えください。
あんたが信じれば私がそれを叶えるわ。
Sorry, I have to do something really quick.
それも私が叶える。未来をあなたが作りなさい。
Kinzo would disappear, and right in the middle of this family conference. Such a move would truly be a last resort. Burying this final trump card in her heart, Natsuhi decided that she would grope around for a different plan until her last second. After this long night had only just begun, Burncastle and her piece had just as long to prepare as Natsuhi did. Wait, I'm going to just put something in my air fryer really quick. I'll be like a minute or two. Thank you for waiting. Sorry about that.
これで完成だ。
なるほど。やはりえぐるとはそういう意味だったんですね。またしても私の推理は正解でした。
正解でした。The feel of it this time was clearly different from the previous times, as though some sort of device had activated. However, as far as a quick glance could tell, there was no dramatic change, such as an entrance or some sort of opening. The mad lads solved it. Apparently they would need to do just a little more before they could find it.
すげえよ。これで本当に黄金が見つかったな。
知的興奮を楽しめただけで十分です。私が好きなのは謎と報酬はそれが正しかったことの証明だけで十分です。
She shrugged it off, implying that just seeing the gold would be enough. Then she crouched down, peering fixedly at the lock mechanism. It's definitely no mistake to say this girl really loves riddles. For her, treasure hunting is all about the delicious process of exposing secrets, so she had no interest whatsoever in getting the treasure for herself and becoming a billionaire.
なるほど。よくもこんな仕掛けを。あなたたちの不運は私をこの島に迎えたことでした。ただ碑文がそこに存在するフルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがでしょうか、皆様方。
She said to the now exposed contraption. She grinned. Her smile was triumphant, but it was more fully characterized by the small bit of unpleasant disdain contained within. After solving the riddle, she was probably reliving the reveling in the pleasure of having won against the one who had proposed it. Shut the fuck up, Erica. You don't like her. You don't like her? Or... And she enjoyed her ability to scoff at this person now.
これで黄金が見つかれば次期当主はクラウスさん。
どうだろうな。
クラウスさんってちょっと偉そうって言いますか。そのクラウスさんが一夜明けたらおいに黄金も次期当主の座もかっさらわれていたなんて。
Erica was still crouched down as she spoke, her back to Battler as she toyed around with the device.
ジェシカさん。
Oh gosh.
私に意見した女の子。あの子、自分の父親が次期当主だと威張ってましたね。
Not that I hate her, but she's annoying, and you will see later how her way of thinking is sick. Well, she is Berncastle's piece.
彼女は今夜が明け、バトラさんがすべて自分の父親がもはや次期当主で亡くなったことを知ったら、どんな表情を見せるんでしょうね。
別に俺は200億を一人、せいぜい1割ももらえりゃ、あとは親族で仲良く分けりゃいい。次期当主なんてムッケラウスおじさんに喜んで押し付け。
果たしてそうそれを推理することよりは、今はジェシカさんが明日どんな表情をしながらどんな負け惜しみを口にするかの方が推理の対象としては楽しい気がします。
お前性格悪い
おや、謎解きが好きという時点で推理できませんでした？私、人が隠すことを暴くのが好きな知的蹂躙者なんですよ。碑文の謎解きもそうです。
じい様が満を持して隠した黄金を暴いてやりたかったんだろ。
ええ、最初はそうでしたが、途中から目的が変わりました。
途中？何？
ジェシカさんです。私の推理に口を挟み、口実かつ高所だから、あのジェシカという子に思い知らせたくて碑文の謎を解く。
お前本気で言ってんの？
私はどんな相手でも屈服させます。それが私の唯一の優越です。まだ推理必要ですか？後ろ宮ジェシカは私をムカつかせた。だから私は身の程を思い知らせてやりたくて碑文を解くことにし、そこから導かれる推理可能ですか？
This time I turned my back on her in earnest. Did I get too a bit excited by this riddle solving game, letting her drive me on and do something terrible? That's right. It should have been possible to reason this out. The riddle is solved, the relatives will probably freak out about who the successor should be. Dad and some others will probably push for me, the discoverer, to be the successor, and some relatives not thrilled with that prospect will probably oppose them. Despite how adamantly Erica affirmed it, it isn't written anywhere that the one who solves the riddle of the epitaph becomes the successor. Because of this, it'll lead them to a fight between those who acknowledge that theory and those who don't. If I reason out what happens next as Erica did, it'll probably lead to a messy fight between Uncle Kraus and the rest of the relatives. Now that I've solved the riddle, will Jessica admire me or curse me? I don't want to think about that now. Erica was still mumbling. Apparently she had already started trying to reason it out. As I began to feel very bad, I vaguely gazed out to the black night and saw a man running towards me. At that time, I looked out at a dim outdoor light, saw the silhouette of a person in front of us. I'm psychic. I thought I must be seeing things. After all, it was unthinkable that someone could have been standing there the whole time, pounded on upon the rain without even an umbrella, unless it's Maria. However, the silhouette didn't move an inch, and maybe... No, it couldn't be. It was looking at me, and it was... Does it have a gun? Is Battler gonna die? Oh, it was Kinzo. Grandfather. At that moment, I understood. Grandfather's probably been watching us solve the riddle this whole time, and as he watched, as we spectacularly solved the whole thing, without a doubt, there was a faint smile on Grandfather's face. Grandfather, who had never worn anything except moody and frightening expression. How did I know? Well, I didn't think it was going to be Kinzo. I thought it was going to be the other dude who called Natsuhi. Looked me in the eye and smiled at me for the first time, almost as if he was saying, how impudent. Or else I never thought it would be you. However, this is still the result that Grandfather's epitaph chose. So I'm sure he accepted that result. In the end, he grinned one more time. Of course, he didn't use words. His smile seemed to be wordlessly saying, well done. I didn't know how I should respond. I couldn't do anything but stand there in shock, ignoring Erica as she crouched down, mumbling with her back towards me. Then Grandfather stretched a hand out from the folds in his cloak and pointed at something. When I looked in that direction, the thing he was pointing at was probably a key? Oh, the signpost to the Golden Land. Go, I'm sure Grandfather said that one word. I nodded to show that I understood. After watching that, Grandfather nodded back, satisfied. And with a spin of his cloak, he disappeared, seeming to melt into the darkness. That expression on his face at the end was a smile that, for the first time, truly satisfied.
聞いてます？バトラさん。
Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go grab my food. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Fat Kinzo Man? Batman!
私の推理。
見つけたぜ。あれが黄金鏡への道しるべだ。
え？あ、さっきと向きが変わってる。なるほど。あちらへ進めという意味ですか。良い観察力ですね。
じいさまに教えてもらった。
え？金蔵さん？どこに？
行くぜ。見せてもらおうじゃねえか。黄金鏡ってやつを。
We started to walk. The entrance to the Golden Land was right there.
我が碑文がついに解かれたか。そして バトラーがか愉快この上なし。
When I think about it, I was also ahead no one saw coming. How amusing that the one to succeed me is just as surprising.
これにて我が生涯に一切の未練はなし。ベアトリーチェそなたのもとへ行くぞ。我が碑文が選びし奇跡を手土産にな。
Battler of all people, that battler!
我が生涯の最後の最後に我は真の奇跡を見たり。ベアトリーチェこの賭けは私の勝利だ。
体食性以外には金に換金物としての利便性を見出すことはできませんね。これを現金化するには随分の手間をかけそうです。
At the end of a crude underground tunnel, in a VIP room so beautiful it seemed improper, was a pile of gold so large that there could be no doubting its 20 billion yen worth. Erica was calm, but Battler couldn't suppress his excitement. As for which of the two was the correct reaction to show after seeing a mountain of gold, only those who saw the scene with their own eyes could say for sure. In this day and age, it's said that an average salaryman earns about 20 million yen in wages over his life. And this is 20 billion yen. With even 1/100th of this gold amount, a single human could live their entire life without working. What is labor? Isn't the very point of a human's life, since a person who doesn't work cannot eat? If so, then 200 million yen is enough to make a single person's life complete. And this is 20 billion yen. This would account for the labors of 100 humans, no, a single human life 100 times over. Of course, you still wanted to work, you could. Any money you gained as a result could be used to play with. After all, you would already have enough money to live for your entire life. No, for eternity. No way, I mustn't keep it all for myself. I can split it amongst 100 people. If I could create a world where a full 100 humans wouldn't have to work for their whole life. Just what kind of world would that be? Yeah, there's no doubt at all.
ここが黄金鏡なんだ。
というわけで
I might pause right here. Oh, I love this song. Alright. I will be right back. Give me like a minute or two to just put something in my air fryer really quick. Where is this? Okay. Okay. Thanks for waiting.
ベルンバトラは見事に黄金を見つけましたとさ。めでたしめでたし。肝となる部分は少し伏せさせてもらったけど、そのくらいの意地悪はしてもいいわよね。
ああ、そこは好きにしな。自分の謎がどういう謎なので、どういう大事なのはその結果、黄金が10トン発見されたという事実の方だ。
The gold was discovered in the third game as well by Aunt Ava. Aunt Rosa also witnessed it. The gold, however, the two of them hadn't spoken of the gold's discovery to anyone. In other words, there was a chance the gold's discovery was a cat bot, truth kept between the two of them. More specifically, it was possible the gold didn't exist and was just an illusion. Well, I didn't think that. Because I'm smarter than you, Battler. I'm just kidding.
副将ごっこは時間の無駄だから先にサービスしてあげる。この黄金の山は本物よ。ここに積まれたインゴットは全て本物の純金。
Which means magic's real, bitch.
よし、わかった。この黄金は認めるぜ。だが、認められないものがまだある。
そうよね。会っちゃったものね。金蔵に。
金蔵は幻想のはずなのに、あなたさっき出会っちゃったわよね。やっぱりこれは魔法なんじゃないのかしら。
ほざけ。俺は一言もじい様と言葉を交わしちゃいん。じい様と言葉を交わしたような気持ちになっただけだ。いい加減にしろ。同じ手はもう通用しない。
ならほらどうぞ、青き真実。
おそらく俺は自分の謎を解き興奮状態にあった。それで何かのじい様と見間違えたんだ。例えばそれは暗がりの子たちに引っかかった、それが漆黒のマントを羽織ったじい様に。その結果俺はじい様と何かのやり取りを。
青き真実。ま、私も全く同じことを青で語って。
それで赤き真実で反論は
ないわ、今のところはね。
The me who'd let out a strange yell in front of the gold mountain was finally starting to regain his cool. Now that we found it, there's no covering it up. I vaguely considered keeping this discovery a secret. However, Erica wanted to prove that her own reasoning was correct by announcing this to everyone. She really is an intellectual rapist, just like she says. The puzzle-solving game is what's important to her, and she doesn't intend to take any responsibility for what happens after the riddle is solved. A riddle that is sorta like a lock. Locks exist to be locked. They're only significant when they're locked, therefore they ought to be essential to have some goal in mind when exposing such a thing. However, to this girl, the act of exposing itself is her final goal, and she has no intention of taking responsibility for anything that happens later. Maybe the true storm to hit Urokanjima isn't the typhoon but her. She won't keep this discovery secret. She'll definitely announce it so she can brag about her success. Then she'll call a real storm down on the island. I won't be able to keep this covered up. In that case, there's nothing to do but announce this fact fairly to all. I can't imagine what will happen after that. As she grinned, Erica muttered to herself. She must have been anticipating the uproar that the relatives would soon bring about. To her, merely imagining that was far sweeter than 20 billion yen in gold.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで、フルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがでしょうか、皆様方。
Demonic child.
Open up!
It's the police. We're here to arrest you for being an alcoholic. The sudden sound of someone banging fiercely on the door brought Natsuhi to her senses. She probably nodded off in the study while planning how they would overcome the next day. But what could it be at a time like this? More importantly, the knock itself was strange. If someone wanted to contact her, they could have just used the internal phone line. She told them that she'd be here. Realizing that something strange was going on, Natsuhi shook her head one more time, completely throwing off her drowsiness.
お父様、お父様、エヴァです。至急、重要なお話があります。
It was Ava's voice. What is this? I thought I told them to lock the doors and windows of the mansion tightly after everyone left for the guest house. Why is Ava here? Nancy ran up to the door, responded with a small knock, and spoke through the door in a quiet voice.
何事ですか？想像し。
夏日姉さん、なんでこんな時間にあんたがお父様の書斎にいるのよ。
静かになさいと申し上げ、当主様が何よりも沈黙と静寂を好まれることをお忘れですか？
今はそんなこと言ってる場合じゃないの。ご託はいいからとっととここを開けなさい。お父様を出して。
当主様は先ほどお休みになられたばかりで、何のご用か存じませんが、明日私が伺います。
あんたなんかに用はないわよ。いいからさっさとここを開けなさい。
So rude. Sometimes multiple schemes and assumptions can fall apart due to the most direct, simple, and emotional of strategies. This is bad. If I open up the door, Ava will probably throw herself forwards and rush into the study. Now I can't even open this door. At that moment, the phone suddenly rang. It's okay. Both of the keys to the study are here. No one can open this door. Natsuki inched away from the door and grabbed the receiver.
もしもし。
Wait, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my food. Sorry. Thank you for waiting.
夏日です。
私だ。まずいことになった。急いで客間に降りてきてほしい。
It was from Kraus. His tone was strained. What in the world had happened?
バトラ君とあのエリカという客人が魔女の碑文を解いて黄金を発見したらしいのだ。
それは本当に？
ルドルフたちが押しかけてきている。これからバトラ君が全員立ち会いのもとに黄金の場所に案内すると言っている。
書斎の扉の前でエヴァさんが開けろと騒いでいます。今開けたら書斎の中に押し入ってくるかもしれません。
わかった。私もそこに行く。エヴァには構うな。何もせずにそこにいるんだ。扉の前からエヴァを追い払ったら合図するからすぐに出てきたまえ。いいな。
Right after that, Kraus came up the staircase accompanied by Genji. A heated debate started between him and Ava. Open up, no, calm down. In the middle of that, there was a small knock as a signal. Kraus had cleverly pushed Ava away from the door and distracted her. During that gap, Natsuki slipped out of the study and quickly shut the door. Ava noticed this and her face twisted in disappointment. But the heavy sound of the auto lock had already rung out and the door had been sealed.
碑文の黄金が見つかったのよ。お父様にご報告するのが筋でしょうが。それとも何？お父様にはそれを伝えられない都合でもあるの？
親父殿からは床についたら何があっても起こすなと厳命されていてね。それを守るのは当主代行の務めだよ。そうだろう、源氏さん。
はい。親方様のお休みは何があろうとも。
それも時と場合によるでしょうが。だって碑文が解けたのよ。お父様には真っ先に知る権利があるわ。
もちろん明日当主様には全てを私たちから報告します。それが当主代行である私たちの役目ですから。
そんなの知らないわよ。いいからこの扉を開けなさいよ。お父様に会わせなさい。
Yeah, I don't think Natalia is gonna convince them, Ava.
お父様、お父様、聞こえていますか？エヴァです。ここを開けてください。話してよ。痛い。
私たちが話を聞くと言っている。やかましく扉を叩くな。
話してよ。話しなさいよ。
クラウス様、エヴァ様、親方様がお休み中と申し上げております。これ以上はお控えください。
When Genji spoke firmly, the two finally ceased their scuffle. It seemed Genji, the one who had spoken for Kinzo since they were very young, still possessed an air of dignity strong enough to handle both Kraus and Ava. Ava put her argument aside for the time being. She could hold off worrying about that after she saw the gold with her own eyes. After all, not even Ava had seen it for herself. Natsuki and the others had managed to somehow deal with the momentary crisis. However, the move of the demons that would sneer upon their efforts had already begun.
バトラが碑文の謎を解いたというのか。
エリカなる娘にだいぶ助けられたとはいえ、たどり着いたのはバトラーだった。エリカは黄金鏡の権利を放棄すると宣言している。よってバトラが黄金鏡にたどり着きし者だ。
運命とは実に面白いものです。バトラ様がたどり着くとは。
どうするのです、ベアト。碑文の謎を解く者が現れたなら儀式は取りやめる約束ですよ。
そういう取り決めであったな。
そういう取り決めだ。
バトラ様はどうやら黄金鏡の主となられるおつもりがないようだ。我らの主となる者はもはや現れぬようですな。
それもまた運命です。ゴールドスミス教とのご縁で人間の世界に権限して数十年。とても楽しい時間でしたよ。
やだリーア、ババ臭い。でどうするわけ？リーチェとゴールドスミスのルールならバトラが碑文を解き、私たちはこれでお役御免じゃないの？
そうであるな。私に未練は何もない。いつでも呼吸とすげ蹴落とされる覚悟はできておるぞ。
待て、そうはいかぬ。 そなたの心残りはないかもしれぬが、わらわはまだ夏日に仕えておるぞ。バトラが碑文を解いたからお役御免ではあまりに義理を書くというもの。
So are all the witches and people, are they all dead people? Like Kinzo is?
魔女は契約違反を許さぬが、不義理もまた許されぬ。
でしょうな。親族会議を終えるまではきっちりとお使いするべきでしょう。
となるとゴールドスミス教ももうしばらくはお役御免とはなりませんね。無事に親族会議を乗り越え、せめて夏日様にお別れの挨拶と、もしできるならこれまでの努力をねぎらわれるべきかと。
あれもよく具足を支えてきたものよ。
貴様など片葉をもがれた打天使ではないか。揃わぬ翼なら置き土産に捨てていけ。
うん、それもよかろう。夏日ならば我が翼を背負うにふさわしいかもしれん。しかし
Oh, that would be sweet.
ここからが正念場となるぞ。褒美は用意した。無事にこの試練を乗り越えてみよう、夏日。
The mountain of gold left everyone speechless. Regardless of how strongly they had believed in its existence, no one could look at this much real gold and not be shocked.
こんな場所があるなんて。
信じられん。親父め。
Everyone was stunned by the gold, especially Kirie. The first one to break the silence and jump around next to was Hideyoshi. Letting out an excited laugh, he clung to the wall of gold. Then he felt the cold, hard touch of it on his cheek.
こりゃすごいで。ほんまもんやで。
親父め、こんな黄金をこんなふざけたところに溜め込みやがって。
これだけあればもう何も怖くない。どんな試練だって乗り越えられる。ローザー姉さん、姉さん、これで私たちは幸せになれるよね。
Oh, they want to share it. Aza and Rosa moved towards each other at the same time and hugged as they broke down crying. Ecstasy and shock, wonders and sighs. After stepping forward in front of the pile of gold that had caused these mixed emotions, Erica spoke as though she were an announcer in some show.
この黄金は幸せの結晶です。おめでとうございます。この発見が皆さんの人生をより豊かなものにすることを心よりお祈りいたしております。
脱帽だわ。この島に来て丸一日さえ過ごしてないあなたが気分を
一日で解けないなら何日をかけようとも解けません。灰色の脳細胞はひらめきを与えるのに瞬きする以上の時間を必要としませんので、そして私一人ではこの謎を解くことはできませんでした。バトラさんの功績もどうか称えてあげてください、皆さん。私はこの推理が正しかったことが証明によって黄金発見の功績、私はここにおりますが以後はいないものとして どうぞお話をお続けください。バトラさんはいとこの皆さんに気づかれぬように大人の皆さんだけを呼び出しました。それが意味するところはただ一つ、皆さんに本当の親族会議を開いていただきたいからに他なりません。
エリカ、勝手に仕切るんじゃねえ。
これは失礼しました。それでは議事の進行役を譲ります。では誰に？
Shrugging, Erica looked around at everyone. After a short period of silence, Ava made the first move.
昼間の取り決め、全員忘れてないでしょうね。
ああ、4人で25億ずつを山分けだ。そして次期当主にはさらに100億。
お待ちなさい。黄金の発見が次期当主を決めるなどと誰が決めたので？
おっと、そうはいかんで、夏日さん。これまでずっとそれを、今さらそれは白々しいと。
そうだわ。使用人の誰かが碑文を解いてしまって次期当主を名乗るかもしれないって怯えてたのは夏。
どこにもそうだという明記はないがね。
卑劣感。私たち全員はそういう認識だったでしょうが。
Well, here we go.
そうだぜ兄貴、今さら手のひらを返そうってのか？
明文化されてなくてもそれは間違いなく私たちの共通認識だったはず。話にもならないとおっしゃるのはどうなのかしら。
当主様の碑文を勝手に解釈されるのは困ります。黄金を見つけたらそのものが次期当主になるとどこに記されているというのです。当主様の碑文は当主様が決めたもの。皆さんに決めつける権利などありません。
夏日、落ち着きなさい。
これが落ち着けるという。確かに碑文を解いた功績は素晴らしいと思います。バトラ君にも何かの見返りがあっても良いとは思います。しかしそれが半分というのは、それ以上に発見者だから次期当主という論法はなおまかり通りません。
卑怯だわ夏日姉さん。今日の昼間にしてた話と全然違う。
同感だぜ。明文化されてなくても碑文を解いたやつが次期当主になるってのは、それをこの土壇場でごちゃごちゃ言い出すのはフェアじゃねえぜ。ああ、フェアじゃね
え。とにかくこの黄金はお父様の黄金。お父様の許可なく勝手に分配を決めていいものではありません。
そらない。そら卑怯やで、夏日さん。わしらその話を延々、昼間の話を全部チャラや。そら
多数決で決めればいい。黄金を発見したバトラ君が私も夫も異議はないわ。ルドルフたちは？ローザは？
異議なんかねえぜ。
私も異議は。バトラ君は碑文に選ばれた正当な跡継ぎよ。不満ならお父様に直接聞けばいいんだわ。
そうね、夏日姉さんの言った通り碑文の謎を出題したのはお父様。そしてこの黄金の本来の持ち主もお父様だわ。だったらお父様に話を聞くべきじゃないのかしら。バトラ君という発見者はどう扱われるのか、それについて決めていいのはお父様だけのはずだわ。
それは。
だから落ち着けと言ったのだ。
ローザとキリエさんの言う通りだわ。お父様に聞きましょうよ。もはやね、兄さんたちの出番じゃないのよ。
せやせや、お父さんを連れてこんかい。あんたらじゃ話にならへん。ほんまの親族会議を始めよう。眠いから明日にしろっちゅう。これ舐めとったらえらい問題になります。おう、聞いとるんかい。お前らじゃ話たったとお父さん連れてこんかい。
親族会議っていつもこういうのなんですか？
俺が知るか。
腹の中ではいつもこうなの。どうもこの場は金蔵さんじゃないと収められなくなるみたい。子供の喧嘩に余命あとわずかと宣告されてる今になってもまだ呼び出されるなんて、どういう気持ちかしらね。金それを想像、いいえ推理するのもおつなものです。
Parents ignored Battler and Erica and kept yelling at each other on and on. Even though Battler had more or less imagined this sort of thing happened behind the scenes, this was the first time he'd seen it. He suspected it since 6 years ago, and he'd been able to get a pretty good idea of what this was like by the darkening expressions on his parents' face when this time of year drew near. However, this argument his relatives were having was before his very eyes, which was more ugly than he'd imagined. That's why he was very glad he called the adults out here without letting the cousins catch wind of anything. Perhaps because everyone was tired out from the seamlessly ending endless argument, they took a short break. It was decided that this family conference inside the Golden Land should be moved over to the mansion. This place may have been gorgeous like a VIP room, but there was no heating and it was a little cold. It wasn't well suited for a long conversation. They thought that the possibility that someone might snatch the gold away while their backs were turned, but of course no one could manage with just human hands in a small amount of time when it's 10 tons of gold they're dealing with. In fact, it might be said that having this mountain of gold in the background is actually robbing them of the ability to make sound decisions. So they agreed to return to the mansion, in part so they could regain their composure and continue the conference more cold-bloodedly.
それでは私は今夜はこれで失礼します。これ以上はお邪魔でしょうから。
お、悪いな。気を使わせちまったか。
あなたへのお礼は恥ずかしいところを見せてごめんなさい。
あなたは辞退すると言ったけど、私たちはあなたへの感謝の気持ちを込めて。ねえ、兄さん。
君ほどの人、我々の事情は察してくれると思うね。
$20 billion yen in gold isn't something they wanted out in the open. They didn't want an outsider like Erica telling people about it. Of course, Erica had already reasoned out that much. She wore an unpleasant smile on her face as though she understood all too well.
私のことはお気になされなくてもちろん口外する気もありません。したところで証拠を示せぬ限り誰も信じないでしょうし、今夜は良いものを見せてもらいました。眼福でしたので私はこれでもう十分です。
そうね。10トンの黄金なんてなかなか見られるものじゃないもんね。
Seeing the gold was the spectacle? Of course not. Judging by Erica's dark nature, it's obvious what she's so happy about. I thought about telling her just to go away, but even I wanted to get out of this place. Tried to head back to the guest house along with Erica. However, Kide-san grabbed my shoulder.
バトラ君はダメよ。あなたも一緒に来てちょうだい。
せやせや。
Go fuck yourself, Kide.
君は今や立派な次期当主なんやで。
God, these people are so
お
shameless.
父さんにお目通りして早くそれを認めてもらわん。
それを決めていいのは当主様だけです。勝手なことを決めないように。
バトラ、面倒だろうがもうしばらく付き合って。
No, fuck you guys.
お前は何も言う。黙ってうつむいてりゃいい。
Are you fucking kidding
分かっ
me?
たな。
好きにしやがれ。
It would have been easy to say that I had no interest in being successor, but I was sure that it would only add more oil to the fire. Even if I hadn't been ordered to keep quiet, staying shut up like a clam was clearly a good idea. In any case, would it really be so bad if they just let me go back to the guest house? Dad put his arm firmly around my shoulder and I told him it was uncomfortable to let go. However, he didn't pay any attention to a word I said. That really... Ugh, these people are pissing me off. Imagine using your kid to win.
解けたな。お前のお望み通りに。お前がゲームマスターの時にはいつも手紙が来るもんな。碑文を解いてみろ。解けなきゃ皆殺しだ。みたいな。
Why don't you make us solve the riddle of the epitaph? By solving it, we found a mountain of gold. Yippee for us. And what about Beato? Did she gain anything by having us find the gold, or did she lose something?
チェスパン思考にのっとる限り、人は自らが損になる一手は打たない。だからお前は 俺たちが碑文を解くことで何か得をするはずなんだ。
いいえ、碑文を誰かが解くことでこの子が何かを得ることはありません。
いいのか？こいつに断らずに勝手に赤き真実を使っちまっても。
この子もそれを望むでしょうから。
Virgilia, who suddenly appeared there, quickly gave an answer to my question with the red truth.
俺は過去にベアトが碑文を俺たちに解かせようとするのは黄金の隠し場所を見つけさせて横取りするためだと推理した。それも違うのか？
はい、第一、もともと黄金鏡の黄金はこの子のもの。見つけさせる必要も横取りする必要も何もありません。
Of course. Beato is Beatrice the Golden. Isn't she the master of the Golden Land and the Uchinomiya family alchemist? That totally makes sense. However, that makes me even more confused. Even if someone exposed the answer of the Apatau's riddle, Beato has nothing to gain. No, to the contrary, her own gold might be stolen away.
なら、ますますにわからない。碑文殺人はわかる。後ろ宮家に対する復讐とか、あるいは魔女としての力を復活させるための儀式とか、こいつなりの理由や目的があってやってるんだろうからな。だが、碑文の謎を解けというのには、俺たちが解いても解かなくても、こいつに得るものは何もない。つまり、ベアトにとって碑文の謎が解ける解けないという問題は無価値なものなんだ。
そうですね。碑文の謎が解けても解けなくても、この子にとって得るものは何もありません。
解けても解けなくても、それはつまり碑文の謎自体がベアトにとって無価値だということになるんじゃないのか。
そうですね。碑文の謎はこの子にとって何の意味もない。ならばそれを無価値であると極論しても言い返せないかもしれませんね。
Beato, why are you making us solve the Apatau's riddle? If we liken the witch you are to a pair of scales, the Apatau's murderers lie on one plate, and the riddle of the Apatau lies on the other plate. After all, she's saying she'll stop the Apatau murders if the Apatau is solved. In other words, the Apatau murders and the Apatau's riddle are worth the same to Beato, like two sides on a balanced scale. That means both the Apatau's riddle and massacring all the relatives are equally significant from Beato's point of view. But Virgilia responded with the red truth. She has nothing to gain. If she has nothing to gain, then it's meaningless to her. In that case, how much are the Apatau's murders, which lay on the other side of the scales and are equal to the Apatau's riddle in value, worth to her? Think, don't stop thinking. The Apatau's murders and solving the riddle of the Apatau have equal worth. As long as the Apatau murders, which are Beato's goal each time, have the single way they can be stopped, a way that she decided on herself, both are worth the same thing to her. X equals Y, and whether the Apatau's riddle is solved or not, Beato has nothing to gain. Y equals 0, so in this case, what is X? It is 0, darling.
おいおい、それじゃ碑文殺人もまた無意味無価値ってことになっちまうぞ。こいつはご丁寧に予告状を出し、碑文に沿うように順番にバレないように次々殺していくという毎度あのおかしな連続殺人を起こしてるんだぜ。その意味がなくなっちまうじゃねえか。
Maybe it's meaningless to her because she has to do it. Like, she's being forced by Lambda to do it, and so maybe that's why it's like meaningless. Spun the chessboard around and searched through Beato's moves over and over. This is always the first place I stumble, the significance of the Apatau murders. Why did she have to commit serial murders in a way that reproduced the witch's Apatau? If she wanted to kill the whole Uchinomiya family on revenge, it'd be much simpler, safer, and more reliable to just put poison in their dinner. Or else went around killing people one by one in the middle of the night while they were sleeping. However, on the first evening, Beato sent us a letter that sounded like an advance notice, and then carried out a 3-part serial murder with large gaps in between. The 6 people of the first twilight, the 2 people of the second twilight, and the 5 people of the fourth and later twilights. We aren't fools. Once the first murder occurs, we barricade ourselves in somewhere to stave off any further murders. Furthermore, we quickly suspect a culprit among us and start analyzing each other's abilities. As the victims increase, the number of suspects decreases automatically, and Beato's chances of success in the serial murder drop closer and closer to zero. All the Epitaph murders are like she's strangling her own neck, making it harder to succeed in the serial murder she's attempting. All for useless embellishment, all just for show.
こいつは自分で自分の目的の難易度。
そうなりますね。おかしな子ですね。
知ってるか、ミステリー小説ではこういう非分殺人のこと、この見立て殺人が行われる理由を俺は3つに大別できると思ってる。
伺いましょう。
一つは非分に沿うことで証拠やアリバイをごまかし犯人に利するためだ。死んだふりをして自らを犠牲者に混ぜる古典もこれ、非分に沿わずに殺人を犯し、その発生順序を誤解させることによってアリバイを作るのもこれだ。
なるほど。非分に沿って儀式的に殺していると見せかけて、実は自分に利するように誘導。面白いと思います。
だが俺たちのゲームでは、ゲーム版の世界ではごまかせてもここから俯瞰する。だからこの最も王道となる目的は違うってことになる。
となると、見立て殺人を行うあと2つの理由は？
一つは偶然、意図せずして行った連続殺人がたまたま非分をなぞる形になり、目撃者たちが勝手に見立て殺人だと誤解するケース。人間はどのような事象にも因果性を求めてしまう。きっとそうに違いないと思ったら、そう見えてしまう生き物だ。
なるほど。それも面白いですね。ですがどうでしょう。この子のゲームでは第一の番の殺人以前に常に事件が予告されている。そして明白に非分殺人を遂行していることを示す手紙や状況証拠が次々に見つかるはずです。
ああ、そうだな。偶然なんかじゃない。ベアとは初めから非分殺人を見せつける目的で遂行している。俺たちが誤解してるんじゃない。これは明白な見立て殺人なんだ。だからこの理由でもない。
となると最後の一つの理由になりますね。
最後の一つは見せつけること、つまり恐怖だ。非分に沿うということは殺人が連続するという明白な予告だ。生存者たちは続くに違いない殺人にずっと怯えさせられることになる。
つまりこの子は死の恐怖を味わわせるために非分殺人を。
と思うと割と収まりがいい。グロい遺体損壊も悪趣味な装飾も全て俺たちを怖がらせるための演出。
誰を怖がらせるため？
だからそれは俺たちを。
After hearing that one line, Virgilia spoke so casually. Sorry, my thoughts clouded over once again. Is it really sufficient to use the vague word us? There are many humans in the Ushiromiya family. There's the head and the one who holds the rank of his successor, grandfather and Uncle Kraus. There's the relatives who have some pull in the business world. On the other side, you have the young cousins who usually visit at most once a year, and the unfortunate servants. Wait, okay, hold on. I'm theory crafting here. What if this is all because Battler made a deal with Beato? I know Beato wasn't here 6 years ago. Fuck! I don't care. I don't care if Beato. I'm gonna say she was. I don't care. Because this is a cool theory. And like, after his mom died, what if... I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if this is wrong. Don't tell me if it's wrong or not. I want to just get this out because it's fun. So like, what if when Battler's mom died, he like wanted everyone to feel what it was like to lose someone and like feel the fear of death and shit. And so he like made it, and so that's why this is happening. And then that's why she was like, don't you remember what happened 6 years ago? Bitch. Or 6 years ago, Battler found Beato's body? I don't know. Battler found her homunculus? I don't know. Even if the culprit hates all of us, there should be clear differences in how much they hate some of us compared to the others. So it should be possible to pick out the people among us that the culprit especially wanted to terrorize or have revenge against. If you liken this to a kid eating dessert, isn't the strawberry on top of a shortcake the part you should eat last? So she hates Battler the most? No one tells you that you shouldn't eat it first, but our mentality encourages us to save it for later. Yeah, so Battler.
俺の好きな小説の好きなキャラが言ってたぜ。
Battler or Ava, I guess.
そいつの親しいものから先に殺していって、悲しみを味わわせてから最後に本人を。
Okay, I have another theory. What if when Rosa ran away, Ava was secretly following her, and she saw Beato's body, and when Beato was like still half alive, and instead of helping her, she like left her to die on purpose. And that's why Beato hates her the most. That's one of my weaker theories, but I don't know.
一番恐ろしい殺し方なんだみたいなこと
おやおや、恐ろしい小説もあったものですね。桑原桑原。
じゃあ最後まで生き残るやつが最もベアトに恨まれてるって論法になるぜ。
Sorry, I'm trying to put my hair up right now.
しかし毎回殺される人間も順序もめちゃくちゃ
Bruh, you always last long.
最終的には死ぬにせよ。最後の晩まで毎回生き残るやつなんて。
Is he finally realizing? It's me, a battler. I'm the only one.
先に赤で申し上げておき、バトラ君は犯人ではありませんよ。バトラ君は誰も殺してはいません。これは全てのゲームにおいて言えることです。
ならなおのこと、俺ってことになる。こいつが非分殺人を起こす唯一の理由は俺に見せつけるためってことになる。
Every time Brieto brags that she'll choose whom to kill next with a roulette. However, I'm the only one she never kills. Okay, wait. I don't care that Beato said she wasn't there 6 years ago. Maybe she was there earlier. The novel he's mentioning is Then There Where None. It's one of... Oh, okay. But I was thinking, Beato... Okay, so in the second game, when Beato was talking with Shannon, she was saying how people always forget about the gifts she gives them. And I'm thinking, like, what if she made a deal with Battler and he forgot about it? And that's why she's, like, confused why Battler doesn't like, all the stuff she's doing for him. Like, that's what I think. However, I'm the one she never kills. Though she does kill me in the end, she leaves me be until the very last moment. In all of these supposedly random games, there's this only one unchanging constant.
こいつは俺に復讐を、俺に恐怖を味わわせるために非分殺人を行っているというのか。
I was about to say OMG Beato is Battler's mom, but then you would have never shipped them, so I proved my own theory wrong. At least I hope you would have never shipped them.
恐怖を味わわせるのが目的ではありません。誰かに復讐するためのものでもありません。
ならやはり非分殺人には意味なんてないことになる。非分の謎も無意味。対となる非分殺 X イコール Y だが、その無意味をこいつは明白に俺に対して見せつけている。無意味なことと同価値の何を俺に求めているんだ。わからねえ。考えれば考えるほどにこいつが何を考えてるのか俺にはわからねえ。
Beatrice, the fickle witch who committed a meaningless, worthless string of serial murders. Even the Epitaph riddle, which the witch used as the trigger that could suspend the serial murders, is meaningless. And yet she's stressing this meaningless thing in front of my face. What is it that you want from me? Or else what is it that you're giving me? My idea that Beato clearly has been taking revenge on me has already been denied by her red truth, both X and Y. Both the Epitaph murders and the riddle hold no meaning for Beato. However, since she's stressing those things in front of me, they must have some meaning. If she showed us the scales representing if you don't solve the Epitaph, it'll carry out the Epitaph murders. In other words, neither the Epitaph murders nor the Epitaph's riddle had any blah blah blah. However, it becomes meaningful when she puts both halves on the scales and puts them on display before us, no before me. In other words, it should be like this: x equals y equals 0, but x plus y is more than 0. A scale with meaningless, weightless things on both sides. However, it has weight itself that gives the rest meaning.
まるで子供のじゃんけんみたいだ。
Rock, paper, scissors is an extremely familiar method of randomly determining a winner or loser. You sometimes wager some sort of reward on the outcome. The kids often do rock, paper, scissors just to play, without betting anything in particular. Unless you bet something, you have nothing to gain or lose except happiness and frustration. In other words, two sides of the scale, both winning and losing, are immaterial. However, the very act of seeing which way it will tip is the reason kids play it. After all, kids are enjoying the communication that surrounds the game, and they aren't purely interested in the value of winning or losing. They aren't overly concerned about who wins and who loses.
それじゃベアトにとって非分殺人はまるでその過程そのものを楽しんでいるかのようにさえ。以前の俺なら無意味な殺人を繰り返すひどいだが今の俺
ありがとう。だから赤をもう一つ与えましょう。ベアとは快楽目的で殺人を行っていることはありません。
She didn't do it for pleasure, and she didn't do it to make anyone feel fear. Since she has nothing to gain, she doesn't care whether the Epitaph murders succeed or fail, almost like a random game kids would play.
違う意味があるんだこいつには。
意味とは
わからない。天秤の両端は無価値でも
Of course,
こい
isn't
つにとってこの
meaningless.
天
The
秤は
meaning definitely
しっかり
exists.
と重みあるものなん
In
だ。
the previous game, she urged me to remember my sin of 6 years ago. Oh boy, have I remembered that sin, Battler. You don't even know. You don't even know how much I brought up that sin of 6 years ago. Because I want to know!
違う絶対にそんなことはない。
I clearly remember the serious gaze Beato had back then. Unfortunately, I didn't have a clue what she meant. Well, me neither, buddy. Me neither! When she said, you know what? At least George and Goda aren't in this chapter a lot. I'll say that much. I'll say that. I can see why this is one of your favorite chapters, Golden Sorcerer. I get it. That's right. At that time, I'm sure she even went so far as to say the crime wouldn't have occurred if I hadn't come.
意味はあるんだ、こいつにとっては。意味が。そしてそれを俺に求めてる。
That's true, never noticed that. I laughed softly and poked Vita lightly on the head, then patted her head.
ラブレターには次からはあまり回りくどくて難解だと意味が伝わらねえぞ。こいつが何を考えてるのか。だが俺は考えることをやめないぜ。まだまだチェス盤をひっくり返せ。お前の思考をたどる旅を。俺は絶対にくじけないからな。
Bubblum.